And welcome back. So, I didn't get around to my Magic video right around Thursday because work and all that going on. But yeah, just whenever I need to just have a Magic video up and don't want to really think about a specific one, I go to a top 10 list because that's easy to do. And I've been going through basically the dual colors, my favorite dual color cards I've used or played against. And now and I'm going alphabetically with the Ravnica order, and we came up to Golgari, my least favorite color combination. I'm just not a fan of green and black. I've used green and black cards. I still use green and black cards, but I don't. I like it's the one deck combination I don't think I've made besides the spider deck I've only made recently. Like I've made dual color decks for every other deck. I have dual color decks for every. I got a red black deck. I got a couple blue green decks. Red blue deck, white blue deck, white black, red white, green white. What am I missing? Blue black, red green. Yeah, but green black is one that first off, black's my least favorite color. Green's my second most favorite color. It's just a weird combination for me. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the philosophy of the color pie, because black's very selfish and green. It basically kind of like decay zombie things, and I'm just not big on zombies that much, even though I have a zombie deck. Hypocritical. But in terms of like actual preference for creatures overall, or it evolves in like decay or rebirth, things like that. And it's just, for some reason, that's not fun to me. I don't know what it is. But that doesn't mean there aren't green-black cards I don't play with. So, for you today, I give you my top 10 green-black / Golgari cards. So, in order, at number 10, we have Winding Constrictor, a recent addition from Kaladesh Aether Revolt block, or Kaladesh block Aether Revolt the set. A 2/3, 1 black, 1 green Winding Snake, which right off the bat is useful. If one or more counters would be placed on an artifact or creature you control, that many of those counters plus 1 are placed on that permanent instead. So basically, you add an extra counter, more or less. If you would get 1 or more counters, you get that many of those counters plus 1 instead. It's a very useful energy card. It's a very useful plus 1 cards. Counter card, or if you need to put other specific counters on cards, if you actually use a deck like Wither that involves -1 counters to your advantage. This card's extremely useful for that. And right off the bat, a 2/3 for 2 is, granted, it's in certain color combination, but is not terrible at all. It is a very, very good card in that sense. And I love snakes. Snakes are awesome. I am waiting for a legendary snake. Like I said, Wizards gave me something I didn't think I would in Amonkhet, or was going to give me something I didn't think I'd ask for in Amonkhet, a crocodile dragon. I still want my legendary green-blue snake flying god. Other than that, or just a mythic snake that's more awesome than Lotus Cobra. Because, for mana, sure, but overall, just sort of not my taste. But no, overall, Winding Constrictor is my number 10 favorite Golgari black-green card. And I've got... there we go. At number 9 is, and this one's probably going to shock some people, but since I'm not a standard or any other type of player, I'm just a casual player, maybe not. Abrupt Decay is my number 9. And now, it's an amazing card. Again, 1 green, 1 black. Abrupt Decay cannot be countered or by spells. So blue spells, my bread and butter kind of cards can't do damn thing against it. Destroy target creature, a permanent, destroy target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 3 or less. So 3 mana planeswalkers are done, 3 mana creatures are done, 3 mana enchantments are done, or anything less is done. Hell, this thing counters the Detainment Sphere from Ravnica, which has a similar, even more powerful effect where it just exiles all cards of the same type or same names the minute you exile something. So it is a fantastic counter card. The reason it's just so low on the list is because it's one of the only cards on this list that I have never played with. If I had played with it, perhaps I would have had a better history with it and would have ranked it a lot higher. I've also only played against it maybe once or twice in like limited formats, like pre-releases, so I'm just not really huge on the card. It's fine, it's great, it's wonderful, but it's terrific, it's huge, it's great, but it's just not my taste. or just not my thing. I never got a hold of the card myself. Farika, God of Affliction, comes in at number 8. Now, as someone who has a Gods deck, of all the Theros gods, minus Krufix, I think I actually took him out recently simply because of all the gods, he was honestly the most useless. I mean, yeah, unlimited hand size, but in that deck didn't matter. Really, all I'm really hoping for is an indestructible 4/7 at that point, and lack of mana burn, which I didn't care about, so I took him out eventually. But other than that, as a guy who runs a deck with all the gods, this thing is very useful because first off, you can play it for 3 mana. Now, granted, all the multicolored gods have that whole little pesky, you need 7 devotion, not 5 thing going on. But it has the added benefit of maybe bringing it out on the battlefield if you got the mana to do so, which if you bring it out turn 3, but if you got a little extra mana, say from like a border post or something like that, maybe. Exile target creature from a graveyard, and you get to put a snake token enchantment onto the battlefield with Death Touch. Now, granted, it works also on your opponent as well. But the point is, you could have an unlimited army of, a large amount of snakes army to protect you as well as, speed things along for the process of devotion, even though as far as I understand, enchantments don't qualify for the devotion cost. Still, it's also one of the easiest gods to play because it's only 3 mana. You can just leave it on the battlefield on turn 3 if you got something and just wait it out to get a 5/5 for nothing. So it's got that added benefit to it as well. But overall, I mean, yeah, it's not my favorite god, that's for certain. But it's definitely one of the better gods, I'd say, in terms of the, especially for its mana cost. Overall, it's pretty cool. I like that card a lot. Number 7 is Lord of Extinction from Shards of or Reborn. Now, again, I've never played with this card, but I played against it many times. Mark, for the longest time, had a blue-green-black mill-esque deck that had this guy in it. And when you have a creature that's power and toughness are equal to all cards in all graveyards, you have one of the beefiest motherfuckers in the entire history of Magic. This thing makes Emrakul look small when you have, because it costs 5 mana right off the bat. If it costs 5 mana, you get out on turn 5, things have probably died. It maybe comes out as a 4/4, whatever. You're running it in the right deck that's involving destruction and milling, like Mark did. You're getting a guy that can easily reach a 20/20 without any difficulties whatsoever. And if you run this thing in a commander game and give it trample or some sort of unblockable-esque ability, some sort of avoidance ability, like unblockable, shroud, hexproof, and trample, this thing can't be stopped. This thing is a complete other demon. Hypothetical scenario: you're playing a 4/4 commander game. Those games can go on and on. Your deck is designed as a combination of a mill, maybe destruction, and this guy is one of your bread and butter. You got this guy and let's say turn 10 in there. And there's maybe between 4 players, including yourself, you bring this guy out, there's maybe at least, 30 cards in the graveyard at this point. This thing comes out as a 30/30 on turn 10. You've got maybe 10 mana, 5 extra mana. You can either equip it with a hexproof spell or you can equip it with a trample. This thing can become an absolute nightmarish beast. But the reason it comes in at number 7 is, one, I'd never owned one. I should actually pick one up. They're probably not that expensive. In fact, I've got it up right now. Yeah, I take it back. It's about $50. Okay, it's a little expensive. But my point is still valid. Yeah, I didn't actually take a look at the price for that. I'm on Star City right now, looking up these cards so I can read them. But I'm also didn't think until then to look at the price. It also is a massive target the minute it hits the battlefield because it doesn't have haste, so it's got to stick around for a turn. It can be chump blocked otherwise because it has no other abilities than just being monstrous in size. So unless you're pumping it up with abilities, it's kind of just sitting dead in the water. But it's still an amazing. I love beefy monsters. They're the bread and butter of Magic, and I love them. My number 6 is, we go from the beefiest of the beefy to the wimpiest of the wimpy, is Slitherhead from Return to Ravnica. A 1/1 plant zombie. It looks like an octopus in a skull. that costs a hybrid mana of one black or green. I like this card still because it's so simplistic and basic, and you can immediately. I have only one copy of the card, surprisingly, but I have it in my Devour deck, my Jund deck, because it does exactly what you want it to do. Plus, with a scavenge cost of nothing, you can say, I pop it, I'm going to devour it, I get the Devour cost. Oh, it's still not quite big enough. Scavenge, add another +1 counter. If you got multiple of them, it's awesome that way. It's just a very simplistic, simple card that I love to play. It's a 1-drop that's actually worth playing is the thing. You can drop it on turn 1, just keep swinging in with it until it eventually dies, and then you have other stuff on the field. You sack it for its scavenge cost, and go to town on. I mean, obviously, +1 is maybe not the highest increase, but it's still a very impressive. It's still a very neat combat trick to do. Maybe not impressive. Impressive is probably not the right words, but it's a very neat trick to have. Excuse me. I'm doing a lot better with my cold, but I've still got a cold. My throat's drying out a bit more often, so I'm actually going to get a drink after I'm done with this video. Next, at number 5 is another Return to Ravnica card, Corpsejack Menace. Now, this was the promo card you got with the Golgari. And I didn't get one later on until I think I just got a random pack of Return to Ravnica. Yeah, I'm pretty certain this. No, wait. Did I get it with Return to Ravnica? I think I got Return to Ravnica. It's my... One second, actually, because maybe the deck's right here. Nope, not that one. Because I've got like 7 boxes worth of card decks at the moment. Okay, oh yeah, here it is. All right, let me just see which one mine is. Is it the Commander one? Because I did get the newest Commander. Corpsejack, where you at, baby? The Corpsejack. Oh, wait, and there's my Slytherin. Slytherin. It's a Corpsejack and a really cool Jack where we can. Okay, no, mine's a Return to Ravnica one. So yeah, and but no, he's half a doubling season. He's half a doubling season on a stick. +1 counters specifically, because. Between Parallel Lives and Corpsejack, you get the rudimentary basis of what Doubling Season is, because they're never going to reprint Doubling Season outside of the Modern Masters kind of stuff, because that card is ridiculous in this new format when you have Planeswalkers. Think about that concept for a second, for those of you who maybe haven't ever thought about that. If Doubling Season, which doubles counters, not +1/+1 counters, counters, were to be allowed in just reprinted in a set in a format that has Planeswalkers galore, shit gets. I mean, I think I know it's usable in some formats. I just don't know if I don't know if it's usable in Commander. But if assuming it is, then that's disgustingly sick. But point being, Corpsejack Menace is half a doubling season on a stick. Basically, it's a 4/4 for 4, perfectly fine body. And, you get the +1/+1 counters, which helps. It's not just with the scavenging ability, but any ability in general, which is why I run it in the Devour deck, simply because, hey, I'm going to get giant monsters with +1/+1 counters on them. No, now I'm going to get giant +1. I'm going to get monsters with even more giant +1/+1 counters on them. So, yeah. Reaper of the Wilds, though, comes in at my number 4. Now, this is a card I have used. I do own. And I liked it a lot because there's no real downside with it. When you look at the card, what is it? It's a 4/5 for 4, 1 green, 1 black, and 2 of any color. Right off the bat, you're above the curve in that sense alone. Whenever another creature dies, you scry 1. Again, you're above the curve. Reaper of the Wild, you pay a black mana, it gets Death Touch. You pay a green and 1 colorless, it gets Hexproof. There is absolutely no negatives about this card. The most you can make an argument for is you got to pay mana for its ability, but frankly, you got to do that for most creatures that have kind of with a lot of abilities. So, really, there's nothing bad about this card. You could run multiples of this and make it horrifying. In fact, one second, do I have him in the binder right now, or do I have him in a deck? Because now I just realized I should totally put him in the Jund deck. Where's my green? Where's my green black? Hold on, sorry. No, I got. Why do I have this thing in the binder? I need to put that in the deck at some point. But anyway, Reaper of the Wilds is just fantastic. It's got a bigger butt than its front. If you want to sound weird about it, and yeah, okay, yeah. And yeah, its butt's bigger than its front, meaning you can take more hits than it can dish out. Which honestly, if you really want to be, for most people, I would say go with a bigger toughness than power, because you'll be able to last longer in the fight. But then you add scrying ability, so anything that dies, plus death touch. So rather, and is that when your creatures die? Nope, when another creatures die, scry 1. So right after that, it's sure. There we go. It's just all value. I can't say enough about it. Next, moving on to my number 3 spot, Vulturous Zombie from the original Ravnica. A 3/3 flying plant zombie, green, black, 3 of any color. So 5 mana altogether. When a card is put into the opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/+1 counter on Vulturous Zombie. I cannot tell you how many times I had to work my ass off playing against Mark with this card. This card, again, in the same kind of deck that you'd put Lord of Extinction in, when it involves destruction and milling, all you need is 3 cards gone. This thing's already a 6/6 flyer that you need to block in the air. If you don't have like a green, blue, or red deck that could destroy, or black that could destroy this, or tap it down, or anything like, or just exile, or anything like that, you are boned against this card. You need either, again, you need to be playing a white or blue deck that can stop it outright. You need to be having destruction red or black. And even then, with red, you're going to need to kill it quick before it gets too big. Black, you need the right kind of destruction card. Or you need to be having a lot of flyers with a lot of abilities that would stop it in its tracks. Otherwise, you are boned against this card. Because, let me tell you, let me paint a scenario for you. Tome Scour. Tome Scour, yeah, I believe that's a card, is a very simple card. 1 blue, 5 cards off the top of the opponent's library. Or player's library. Usually for a mill player, unless you're one of those self-millers, which I don't like. I don't like those types of decks where you mill yourself for the effect. I'm like, I'm just going to keep milling you. Give you less options. Point being, 5 cards off the top of your deck, that in one turn, that would immediately turn the 3/3 flyer into an 8/8 flyer. And that's on 1 mana. You got multiples of those in your hands? Goodbye, you're screwed. This thing is a must-answer card the moment it enters the battlefield. If you do not answer this card within maybe 2 or 3 turns, you are absolutely dead. End of story. Fortunately, having played against that card so many times, yeah, I know which decks to use against it. I know more or less how to counteract it. It's just a pain to go up against. It is not a card I enjoy playing against. So my number 3. My number 2 is Drain the Well from Eventide. 2 of any color. Well, 2 of either 2 hybrid mana, black or green. 2 of any color. So sorcery. So 4 mana altogether. Destroy target land, you gain 2 life. It's simplistic, but land destruction is not something you go up against lightly. Most land destruction that's printed today is not Stone Rain level, which is 3 mana, destroy a land. It's not something that's it's not usually something that's very worrisome. But Drain the Well is different because it's in a color pie that doesn't, part of the color pie. Green kind of gets land destruction. In fact, it's been getting it a bit more recently. Black also kind of gets it, but red and black are usually where land destruction really lived. Green, when it branched in the green, I think this is one of the first cards that really branched in the green too, with land destruction, and then it gave you extra life. There was no downside to it. It's not a very pleasant card, especially when you're dealing with land destruction decks. I have a land destruction deck. I haven't really had a chance to use. I've built a lot of decks that I really just haven't had a chance to use in the actual game, because I get bored. I love to play the game, but I haven't had a chance to really play any games recently, so it just they're sitting there waiting to have their day and ruin the landscape, literally. But no, it's just because of the concept of land destruction, because of what it does, and because if you're running multiples of this in the right deck that deals with more land destruction things, it's a very unpleasant card to be going up against. So, just to recap, my 10 through 2 is number 10, Winding Constrictor from Aether Revolt. Number 9 is Abrupt Decay from Return to Ravnica. Number 8 is Frika, God of Affliction from Born of the Gods. No. Journey to Nyx. Sorry. Journey to Nyx. Number 7, Lord of Extinction from Laura Reborn. Number 6, Slitherhead from Return to Ravnica. Number 5, Corpsejack's Menace from Return to Ravnica. Number 4, Reaper of the Wilds from Theros. I believe. No, that wasn't from Theros. That one was from Born of the Gods. Give me 1 second, actually. Reaper of the Wilds was. I didn't actually. I believe that's Born of the Gods. Oh no, Reaper of the Wilds was from Theros. Never mind, from Theros. Reaper of the Wilds. Number 3, Volturous Zombie from the original Ravnica. Number 2, Drainwell from Eventide. And my number 1 green-black card of all time for me personally to date is Creekwood Liege from Shadowmoor. No, I believe that was from Eventide. Give me 1 second. Creekwood Liege. I believe that's from... Oh no, yeah, Eventide. From Eventide. As far as green-black cards go, first off, I love the art because when I initially looked at it, I thought the main body was its face, so it has this like weird frog face. No, it actually looks very much like one of the Skeksis from Dark Crystal. So it's this green aura, that green goblin thing from Legend. It looks very much like that. So right off the bat, it's got an awesome design. It's a liege. All the lieges I love. Now I don't put them all in my top. Like I didn't put the blue-white liege for the Azorius one. I didn't put the Boros one or the. No, I did put Balefire Liege. Balefire Liege actually has a useful ability. And I didn't put the Dimir one either. But Creekwood Liege, right off the bat, pumps up all your black and green creatures. So off the bat, it's awesome in that sense. For 4 mana, 2/2s. Oh, it's all right. You're getting you're getting the value out of that, but it lucks out like all the other leagues do with having hybrid mana, so it's a lot easier to cast than other cards. So it's either green or black. You can pay multiples, whatever, and +1 extra. But what really cements it as the best green-black card for me is the fact that you continually every turn get value. As long as you remember, because it's May. Because you put a 1/1 black-green worm token into play at the beginning of your upkeep. But you may do that. You always have to remember to do that. Which means you're always getting a 3/3 every turn. Now, you add it with things like Parallel Lives, you're now getting 2 green worm tokens. Multiple copies of that. For however many copies you're doing that. Populate with the worm token. It's a never-ending horde of worms. Which is disturbingly awesome. Plus, pumping up anything else you got in the field, obviously. So, for me, the pump effect, the fact that it's pretty easy to summon, and that it continually gives you an army of worms, makes this, bar none, without a doubt, the best green-black card for me, personally, in my history as a Magic player. And again, coming as a guy who does not like the color combination of green-black very much. But, yeah, that's my opinion. That's my list of my top 10 Golgari green-black cards. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. If you have ideas for who wins, what if, Star Wars, superheroes, any videos I do on this channel, put in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to it at some point. This week will be Kong Skull Island. Mark wants to see that with me too. So hopefully we'll go see Kong Skull Island. Just boom, 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 boom. Raw, Kong, yeah. Oh yeah, that did. That was awesome. That kind of gave me a rush. Except now my chest hurts. Oh darn! I think I stopped my heart. No. Next week's not necessarily going to be in our top 10 list. I do the top 10 list like every other week or every couple of weeks when I don't have a immediate topic to talk about in Magic. But obviously the next list I do will be, if we're going by alphabetical order, will be the Gruul cards, the green-red cards, which is one of my favorite color combinations. So, in fact, I think I placed that as number 2. Yeah, I think that's thinking back on it, I believe that's my second favorite color combination. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you folks next time. Have a good day.